Well, it was a fun year. Blessed to be a part of a great organization. We worked so hard this season, but to come up short, definitely disappointed. But it's great to have another season under our belts, and you know, happy for the opportunity to play in front of such great fans and for a great city.
Kevin, what are the biggest areas that you think you guys improved upon as a team?
Just everybody grew individually. Of course, got more experience, but we learned a lot. Been through a lot of adversity throughout the season, and we learned how to persevere through it. So, we've grown a lot, and I think our future is bright.
Kevin, how would you describe your postseason coming off such a great regular season?
Man, always can be better, but I left everything out there, every game. I sacrificed, for my teammates, so I can live with the results.
Where do you think you need to make make your biggest steps to take that next step? Get back to the final.
Be honest, I really haven't thought about it. Everything is so new and fresh right now. But obviously we can always get better. Like I always say that. From individuals to as a group, obviously. So we'll see. Some things are out of our control, but the only thing I can control is how hard I push myself in the summer to get better.
Kevin, there's always a limit to any player's career, any team's life together. So the clock is, I guess, always ticking. But do you sense that? I mean, even at 25, and you and Russell still so young in your careers, do you sense the tick of the clock?
Yeah, time is always moving forward, of course. But you look at that team we played last night. You can easily could have said that about them plenty of times, but they still here, still standing, still pushing forward for championships every year. So it's easy to say that after a loss, of course. We've been together for so long, but we got hope that we can get to the top of that mountain one day, and who knows when it will be. But right now we just stay positive with it, keep moving forward. Yeah, I mean I like our group. I like our core group of guys that we have. I don't want to keep hanging our hats on us being young, because we've been through a lot so far in this league, and like she said, time is always ticking. But I like what we have. Guys that want to be here and play with each other and want to win with each other. So I like what we got.
Kevin, will you talk about where you think you guys matured the most, whether it was through adversity during the regular season or even in the postseason?
Yeah, we went through a lot in postseason, regular season. Russ being injured, Perk being injured, Tabo. And postseason just having been down in series and fighting our way out of them. Guys getting hurt and other guys stepping up. We've been through a lot, and everybody thinks it's championship or bust here. That's what we feel like. Our main goal is to win the championship, and but we don't feel as like our season is totally wasted because we didn't win one. But it was good to set our goals on being a champion, and it didn't happen. So we got to use that as fuel to get better in the summer and come back even better as a group.
Do you ever think that maybe people, because you took these steps, playoffs, finals, NBA finals, I won't say people think it's easy, but they're not really appreciating how tough it is to win these things.
Yeah, if you're on the outside looking in, of course, and maybe it look easy because you only see us when we're on the court playing the games, but you don't see the second after the game's over with, what we do to prepare for the next game, the emotional and physical toll it takes on you when you go home at night, the practices you go through to get prepared for these games, and to travel, spending, taking time away from your family to play a game that you love to win the championship. Guys on the outside don't really see that, but we know how important that is, and we know how much we put in to this game, physically and emotionally. So, once you do everything to the best of your abilities, as hard as you can, sometimes the results still might not be in your favor, but you can live with whatever comes after that because you put in all you can put in. I'm at peace with myself. I'm at peace with everything that's happened. because I know the work these guys put in here. I know the work that I put in. The preparation, the tough nights, the good nights. You go through those throughout a season, the long season that we've been through, and it hurts. It hurts not being able to, be in the finals and compete for a championship. But always grateful and never take the moment for granted. Can easily say we lost the season because we didn't win a championship, but I don't look at it that way because we learned so much throughout these years, throughout these last few months especially, and it's gonna help us towards the future. So when you put it in that way, it stings a little bit not playing, but you also know that you just building your journey up, and hopefully one day we can look back at it and just enjoy what we went through.
You had the MVP season, but it seems like you try to add something to your game every summer. Do you have some early preliminary goals for yourself personally this summer?
I don't know. I mean, it's something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna figure out some different type of move for shot. I'm gonna figure out to try to master. But I'm just gonna overall just try to get better, work on every single part of my game, and bring it back to the team. I think I've grown as a leader as the time goes, as the season went along. I can be better next season, just as I get more and more comfortable, and just continue to have fun and enjoy the game like I do. It can, I can take stress off myself by just going out there and relaxing even more than I did this year. But just working on every part of our game.
Katie, there's been a lot of public criticism of Scott Brooks. Do you endorse him as your coach still? You still feel good about him?
That's our guy. I'm riding with him. It's easy for everybody on the outside to criticize, but once you're in the fire, once you're in that arena, those are the guys that matter. So the guys that shed the blood, sweat, and tears, and sleepless nights, those are the guys that count. Those are the guys that matter in our book. So, everybody on the outside really doesn't.
Kevin, you talked last night about the frustration that you knew Russell went through with the injuries and the stopping and starting and all of that, but I'm kind of curious from your perspective, what was all of that like for you? I mean, and then you lose Cabo, you lose Perk, you lose Surge for those first two. I mean, what was that like for you as team leader to watch all of that happening around you?
It felt like everything's being thrown at me as a leader. If you're just talking about myself, it just felt like everything's being thrown at me to try to get me to quit. And it was nice where I didn't think I could do it, and I didn't think I could lead these guys. But I stayed confident through it all, and just try to help out the guys that were injured and keep their spirits high, and also encourage the guys that had to step up and let them know that they can do it. So I mean, it was nice where I didn't think that I can do it, because if sometimes I was going as hard as I could and still wasn't working, but I just stayed confident and just knowing that it's gonna be good and bad days, days when you struggle, days when you do well, just knowing that helped me out a lot, and it prepared me a lot for this season and for hopefully for the future. So I'm thankful for those times, and I can grow through them and get better from them.
Those nights that you felt like that, was that a physical, I don't know if I can do this anymore, or was it a mental?
It was more, physically I think I can compete with anybody. I think you put me on the court with anybody, I can hold my own. That's just how I feel. But mentally, it's kind of, when everything's being thrown at you, from Russell getting hurt, from him never being injured before, to having to be out there and being that source of energy for everybody on our team, giving everybody confidence, from Serge to Nick to Steven to Tabo to Perk, from everybody, them looking at me and looking for looking to feel confident in themselves. Once I seen that I can do it, I kind of soared from there, just having confidence, in terms of having confidence. So it was a great season as far as learning for all of us and being part of such a great group of guys that accepts me for no matter what, through my good and bad days. I've learned a lot from them all, and I'm very appreciative of the opportunity I had this season to to grow as a leader and as a man and as a basketball player.